Morning, everyone. This morning, I will be discussing to you about training and development of the human resource management. Now, before I move with the other slides, I would like to let everybody think about what comes up to your mind when we talk about training and development. So, mura nga to nga mao na no when we speak about training and development. Very common is kaning magunahuna ta when someone is subjected for training. Of course, that is something that would allow the person to develop, so whatever it will be, even if it is a talent or skills. So ang pangutana, tanan ba pwede matrain? Yes, no, kani tanan kita tanan, no, we are trainable, no? Kita tanan pwede ta i-train because it's very normal, no? In all aspect, in all endeavors, human being uh, needs training in order for them to cope up or to adapt from the type of task, obligations, or situations that they have. So, mao gina nang gingon dire, in vertical, no, or kanabang matawag na to siya nga as a result niya, say aim niya, so it aims everybody to be developed. So that is why I could say uh, you as a student, you need to know about what are trainings, training and development. So before we're going to pursue, no, to our discussion, first we have to know, no, what are the learning outcomes, what are the things that we can learn after I discuss with this topic. So after reading the chapters is because actually all of the informations nga ako ang gibutang diri is coming from the book. There are different citations also coming from different references. So ngayon diri, number one, cite the difference between just cause and authorized cause of termination. Number two, we have described due process in the context of termination of employment. And they discuss, they explain the provisions of the labor code of the Philippines on termination of employment. So, okay. So let's proceed to the next slide. So the next slide is understanding training and development. So diri na ta, no? So training and development is to the or becoming more and more indispensable to the success of present day firms who constantly compete just to keep ahead of their competition. So may gigimi nila. So of course, the training becomes relevant. The training becomes more important. Ang training dili gid siya pwede nga tangtangon, no? Because they aim to become uh, top. They aim to become ganang manguna sila, no? In terms of competition. Uh, I can still remember before with my discussion that I mentioned to you about the aims of every organization. So of course, there is no organization that aims for nothing. They are actually established and they were uh, naa sila, no, they are being organized together for nothing. So of course, they aim to become successful, and also the people who are actually part of the organization. So with that, so it cannot be denied that training play a key role in sustaining and reinforcing the core competencies of a firm. So hence, it has become a control component of the company's strategic management activity. So apart from this, the rate of technology advancement is so erratic that employers should constantly upgrade their skill since sets in response to newer environmental developments. Meaning tag erratic, of course, pirmi lang no nga change, there's a changes. There's a constant changes. So like everything becomes unpredictable every day because from time to time, just like now, ang na nahitabo, no, napahinabo ning kaning pandemic. So we do not know, no, it is very uncertain for us, especially namo nga mga nagtrabaho nga whatever will be the things that might come in the future. That is the reason why in order for us to become prepared, in order for us to be equipped, no, in terms of determination, in terms of kaning gitawag na to kumpiyansa sa sarili, we have to acquire knowledge. So in what way can we acquire knowledge? Of course, that is coming from training. So dire, a competitive environment makes it important for organizations all over the world together to upgrade the capabilities of their human resources to enable them to manage and deal with challenging assignments. And that is definitely true, no? So ningon training is a planned, what is training? So dire explain that training is a planned learning experience intended to enhance the competence, the expertise. So even doctors themselves, no, for them, in order for them to become knowledgeable, in order for them to become well known, no, in order for your names nga para mo mutanyag ilang tangan, kailangan sila og constant practice, still, no, the learning process always going on, no, even though na doktor na sila, still they have to study also because na may mga bag-o nga mga trends nga kinahanglan jud nimo nga kuan ka makat-on ka. And even the lawmakers themselves kana mga lawyers sa matag adlaw na po mga panukala nga mga balaod nga pandayon. So with that, uh, from time to time sige gina sila review, no, they keep on learning all the time. When it comes to expertise, of course, a person, no, kung if you are going to stop, mo nag-ingon nga it is a great opportunity. It is of great opportunity to become a teacher because why? Because you are allowing yourself or dili lang allowing yourself but the work itself is providing an opportunity for you to grow and develop through constant learning, through constant reading, through, through constant practice. So development is a planned learning, while on the other hand, no, ang development is a planned learning experience designed to enhance and improve competencies of an individual for a possible future task. Meaning to say, the two are bound together. No, it cannot be separated from each other because when we say training, of course, there must be a content, there must be a purpose, and that is the reason why naano siya ang development because the training itself has its separate vision or a separate mission when development is not being bound to it. So let's proceed to the next slide. We have the steps and training. So what are the steps? So training and developments have been defined and differentiated and the purpose of each stated. So after this one, no, after reading this one, I will be presenting to you a diagram. No, I want you to observe with the diagram, and I will be discussing each step for you to understand better on how the training has to be conducted. So, Gingon Ray, uh, which in the heart of training development program. So, ano yung the analysis of organization. So, a training and development program that does not respond to the identified need of the trainees would not be affected and therefore becomes meaningless. Show below are the detailed steps on the training process. So, nakadiri class no, inyong nakita, okay, dire, there you can see in the middle na nasa tunga-tunga, analyze organizational training needs. So, of course, coming from the word itself to analyze, of course, you have to study. You have to know deeper. Dili lang know sa in a very shallow manner, but you have to understand deeper. What are those people actually needs for them to grow? We have step number one. We have analyze training task. So, of course, you have to analyze the training task. What is the purpose? How this training has to be done, what are the things that are needed to be that you are about to prepare, knowing that you were about to prepare in order to make this training becomes successful and in order for this training to go in line with its purpose. Number two, develop training objectives. So this is it, no? Mo na to, part of it sa kung na-mention. So you should have training objectives because if you do not have an objectives, of course, surely uh, you cannot be able to understand how to conduct the training, no? Kung wala kay objectives. And also, through preparing objectives, you will be able to know what are the specific measures na kinahanglan nimo i-apply in order to maintain or kanang gitawag nato og ang standardization process all throughout the process in conducting trainings. Number three, organized training content. So what are the training content? So adto dito ko no, like for example, if you are a supervisor, so most likely it's a mix of administrative, it's a mix of the human resource function because you will also be dealing with people. And sa administrative is about sa mga ano, mga etiquette, mga office etiquette or clerical nga mga etiquette. So number four, determine training methods. So how can the training how can a training has to be done? And number five, select training resource. So nana diri tanan no as a select training resource. This actually includes what are the materials that are needed to be utilized no during the training, like ball pen, paper, pencil. Aside from the fact that you actually have to find someone who is very competent enough to handle the training or kana bang tao nga gitawag na to og kasaligan jud ay class nga mo muduma sa training mahimo og talk. So set to it that the person is actually expert. Number six, we have complete training plan. So of course nakalatag na diyan no sa complete training plan na naliya tanan, including the budget, the meal, no, including the person, the resource speaker, including anything that are necessary in order for the training to become more meaningful. So number six, complete training plan. So of course, mo na to no, I mentioned complete training plan. Number seven, you have to deliver training. So this is the time that you're going to conduct the training. And number six, of course, uh you'll just not you're not just gonna conduct the training. But of course, in order for you to know what kung natuman ba ang imuhang objective sa training, of course there must be an assessment right after. With that, you'll be able to know the feedbacks of the people who becomes the participant of the training. So that's the nature. That's the steps that are needed to be followed strictly in order for you to execute a very meaningful and a productive training. So here, I just mentioned it a while ago, no, but this is the important. I have to discuss this one further for you to understand deeper. Okay, analyzing organizational and training needs. So here are the following factors that are needed to be regarded. So these are the thoughts I mentioned a while ago. So we have the number one, prepared a detailed task analysis. So for you, maghimo kitag task analysis. Just like sa before ta mag-conduct og job sa tawag kanang interview, no? The recruitment and selection before anything else, before all of those endeavors can be done in the aspect of human resource management, there must be an analysis. What are the necessary tasks to be done para malatag nimo no tanan imong malatag ang mga kinahanglanon at the same time ang sa flow. So na diri no inyong nakita na chairs, tables, writing supplies and other important resources including laptops and so on and so forth. So the example is the employee assessment revealed. So diri giingon diri no nga coming from the assessment, like kahinumdum mo class, I do not know if you actually encountered this one before, no, with your teachers, Sir Elvin Ray. He used to be a speaker, no, in the school, and yeah, right after sa training there is an evaluation that will assess the student, no nga. Aside from the training that is being conducted on that day, na may butang dito, what are other trainings nga inyong ma-recommend para which is para ninyo importante kaayo. So diya ma-appeal na diya sa task analysis. Number two, we have formulate learning objectives. So, how to formulate learning objectives? Begin by writing down the purpose of the training. Then indicate what you expect the trainings should know, what behavior should be improved, and what skills should be acquired and developed after the train training. Sorry. So, ingon na ana, no? Number three, create an instruction design. Yes, of course, now there must be an instruction because kung wala instruction, magkatibula nya dili sad matarong og execute. Mura ba siya og experiment class, you know? When we are going to conduct an experiment, of course, we have to make sure that we follow the systematic way in solving problems. Kato bang the science is a systematized body of knowledge. So nato yung mga procedure on how to conduct experiment for you uh, to gather the accurate data. So create an instruction design. This is very important because without instructions that is being done in a manner of providing procedures, dili mo maka kuano, di mo makasunod kung unsay mga pambuhaton. So number four, decide what training methods to use. No, you can choose because there are variety of procedures that will fit the needs of your trainee. So nailain-lain nga type diri no nga nagitawag interactive type ba siya, lecture type ba siya, or is it group discussion, digital applications, or combination of each and other techniques. So for most companies class, kaning interactive type, this is also good. And kaning lecture type, this is also being included. No, dili lang ingon nga mamili ra kani, but as much as possible, if you can actually blend all of this together, pwede, no? Depende sa inyong nga procedure. So number five, make a list of the required instructional materials. So as I mentioned a while ago, of course, no, nagikuan no, if you need kaning gitawag og typical audio-visual aids, mga manuals, mga transparencies, for them also to so man na sila'y makuha. Ang materials very important, like for example paper and pencil, so that they can pwede nila masulat no kung sa ilang ganahan nga na sila naganahan nito nga para dili nila malimtan ilang isulat no. So that's it. We have number six, outline and action plan. So after the learning objectives have been formulated, instructional design completed, training methods decided, and training materials identified, the next thing to do is write an action plan, no, that clearly and concisely shows established goals, appropriate strategies, support people or individuals responsible for every goal and strategy. So na timeline for every action and monetary concern. So appeal diri di ay tanan no. Nagitawag diri appropriate strategies. So what is actually the strategy that is actually being applied? Support people of individuals responsible for every goal and strategy. So every goal of the people that corresponds with the strategy that they actually applied in that particular problem or in resolving that particular task. And also monetary concerns. Nanong appeal man ang monetary concerns diri sa kwarta. Of course no, ang kanang magkanda kag training, there is always a money that involved. Kung wala wa kay snack sa imong mga trabahante. Aside from that, of course, the money can actually provide materials. Money can provide equipments. So part na siya ana. Okay? We have number seven, implement the program, sharing of knowledge and expertise on the job matter. So during the implementation, during the execution of kaning training, there must be someone who is expert and knowledgeable enough or kanang gitawag to competent enough na to handle trainings. Kay mura siya og like it is being said that you cannot give what you do not have. So of course, it is very much important to hire someone no nga expert jud about anang nga topic. So trainer must apply strategies like the following. So these are this actually speaks to the person no nga nagkuhan sa training, mag-execute sa training. So of course, it is very relevant to raise no or to ask questions to the audience because that is allowing them to it's somewhat like imong gi-allow ang mga audience, no, for them to kana ba nga magkuan sila, become curious. Aside from become curious, ma-interesting sad sila, no, on unsa na padung ang imuhang asa na padung, no ba, ang imuhang pagpangutana nila, ah, relating to the topic. So as long as it is relating to the topic, so the question that is actually being raised would lead to sa kana ra gyapon padung sa inyong discussion. And of course, no, as part of the requirement when someone is actually conducting a public speaking, it is very much necessary to maintain eye contact to the audience. Siguro no, not necessarily that you are going to choose someone mo sige tutok, no, because that is also threatening to the person. It is wrong, but at least you glance to the people. Good body posture, yes, it is very much important also. Very na match pa, no? You should not slouch or kana bang dili ka magbako-bako or unsa ba na kay mga unnecessary movements, no? Nga mura bag nagpa-feel ka sa imong audience that you are very conscious, that you are in tension, no? Na mura kag naka-feel kag tensions while facing them and talking to them. So I don't think that is the thing is being done by an eloquent speaker o kana bang mga expert na murag dili na nas kabaw na sila sa mga those and don'ts. So we have friendly voice expression, of course. You should actually apply a very calm voice, no, as much as possible. Dili siya mura o kana nga mura nga saba o nayaw-yaw nga ana, and good communication and motivating skills. And of course, as part of the assessment, sorry, there must be an kanang gitawag og evaluate results. So, and this uh, kaning nga step mo na to, no, ang mag-conduct og assessment. It is very important so that you will be able to know also na may nakabutang dito class, na may rating dito na 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So, kung nauyunan nimo, ano, you are going to uh, choose number 5 if nindot kaayo pagka-execute ang training na overall evaluation including the materials being used, um, the relevance of the training, no, being conducted. So apil na siya tanan. Okay? Next, aside from that, no, so right now I will also be introducing to you training methods, no, for non-managerial positions. This is something, no, necessary for you because you're part of it, no, in non-managerial position. So the very famous, which is the OGT, on the job training. Now OGT is the highly used technique for training non-managerial employees. So gingon nila, during the training, the trainees get hands-on experience of the work situation with guidance from their supervisors or other trainees who act as mentors. So sa on-the-job trainings, of course, you are also allowed to be exposed with the different task being performed by the person, or it could be a supervisor or a trainer. So it gives rise to a powerful workforce and offer employers a better comprehension of their employees and competency base. Yes, this is very important. Before, no, when I was in college, I was uh, performing with my OGT. Lingaw kay mi class, no? Ay, lingaw kay mi sige mig pangutana. Now, mo na, no, this is just to kuan ba to share with you about OGT. For some people, they are happy, no, kung dili kay sila busy, bati kay diha OGT hanoy kay busy kay diha. But this is the best thing that I can suggest, or that I can advise to you, no. You have to be very thankful if that particular work that you have is busy kaayo. Why? Daghan kang makatunan, no, compared anang kanang wala ra kayo, no, mura ra gilangaw ra mo diha, no. in terms of exposure, dili kay ka ma-expose. So with that, less ra kayo ang imuha nga makatunan. Mm. So, next we have apprenticeship training. By the way, mingon mo, sir, unsa day nga kana nga kalahian sa OJT ug apprenticeship? They have a separate ano tawag. Mingon tag apprenticeship, it actually speaks about technical works. So like those people who actually graduated with mga technical courses, mo ni tawag sa ila apprenticeship. So like mechanics, electricians, welders, carpenters, and etc. So work under the tutoring or of a specialist in each type of job. So by having apprenticeship class, dili lang diha no nga malipay ka no because kana ba nga nadawat ka. But yet apprenticeship is very challenging, but it is very fulfilling no in the sense that aside from earning an income, uh, the apprentice can also gain added qualifications and learn more skills that may meet local and international standards. That is very important. So sa apprenticeship, because kuha man siya actual man gyud siya no nga tudloan mo diha no at actual skills gyud ninyo ma-acquire, so na possibility if kugihan lang ka mas daghan ngo makatunan. Next we have, okay, let's proceed with classroom training. So sa classroom instruction is commonly used when a big audience must be taught. So like just like what we are doing right now. So that's also part of training. So though wala kay mo gi ano no, but ang paagi sa classroom is same lang gyapon no. We teachers deliver lessons, we discuss topics niya. After that one, we give exercises in order to evaluate the learning capacity of the students. So, kung natuhok ba sa ilahang nga utok. Next, we have program instruction. So, sa program instruction, this method of training does not need the intervention of a trainer. So, meaning to say, no need na no nga diha no na diha ang trainer no on the spot na agi diha. Sets of questions and problems are given to the trainers who are requested to read each set of problems and provide the corresponding answers. So inguna na. And then unsa may kuha na sir, after that one there is a feedback as to correctness of the answers communicated after each response. So more from the word itself, naka-program na sa daan. There's a question being provided. All you need to do is to answer. And then with that, right after answering, you can immediately receive the response. Next, we have the audio-visual method. Almost all of us have gone through a training program that utilizes audio-visual equipment. So whether it lectures, slide presentation, or discussion, so this kind of training is prevalent in the corporate world. Mostly class, kaning audio-visual, dili man ni bag-o ninyo, no? When there is an audio-visual training method, most common, no? Ngano, nowadays, when there is a meeting or when there is a need or a training to be conducted in the corporate base, they use this audiovisual method. So next we have simulation method. So simulation training is used as a method to coach trainees about the skills needed in a real life situation. So it could be pinakalit siya class no, like for example pareha ng fire drill or quick drill. So that is a simple example of simulation method on how the following people actually respond to the particular scenario or kana perpetuous event, no, if that might happen. Next, we have executive development programs. So what are these? So there are multiple developmental processes to improve the level of productivity and performance of middle and top level managers. So here are the following examples. When those people who are in the managerial position or at the top, so mo na siya pinaka-common nila, no? Symposium, conferences, and workshops. So So symposium, it is an official gathering where attendees are specialists. So all of them are knowledgeable. You can actually expect that all of them are experts already. But they have their different expertise coming from their different fields of discipline. So sa may buhato nila ana nga training, they are going mo siya mag-brainstorming class, no? Each of them will actually share their idea um kana ba nga inline sa ilang nga expertise. And with that, of course, mura ko siya og kanang communicate lang gyapon, no? So brainstorming, they're sharing their ideas, they're sharing their views, and you can actually expect uh, a very kana bang gitawag nito comprehensive way of communication because in that aspect also there's a big possibility that napunik mga critiquing diya, no? After that one, of course, someone will challenge or someone will ask a question uh, about sa kung unsa ni o kung unsa na kay mga kuan naman sila, mga big boss naman sila. Na sila yung mga expertise. Next, we have the case study method. So the case study method, very kuan na gini, no, common, no? It can actually utilize to enhance decision-making skills, boost team spirit, improve communication and social skills, and reinforce the analytic skills of trainees. So tagaan sila og problem, tagaan sila og scenario, and with that, they will be the one who will provide solutions, who will be provide strategies in resolving problems. So next, we have management games. Sa management games class from itself, mura lang siya og mura siya bugal-bugal, no? Nga paminawan mo because this actually speaks to the games, but it is an association. So it is actually being associated to games para dili siya boring. Pero ang purpose ani siya is dapat, no, it actually helps the individual, especially the trainee, to conversate, no, to communicate with his co-employee. And at the same time, this is pleasurable and engaging with a great deal of knowledge to bring back to the work area because mura sila gaduwa, though the fact nga mura siya in the challenge is actually given in a form of game, pero this is actually has a purpose also to actually to measure on how the people actually communicate and resolving problems. Nga ang uban, no, we have this one before when during the time, no, nga I was still nagtrabaho pa ko sa Chokes to Go before during our team building gipabuhat mi kun ani, no, nga after that one there is kanang nalagya po ng feedbacking. So that is very important because somehow ila na i-correct dito nya ma-relate gyud na siya class, no, sa in a real life scenario diha sa ato ang trabaho kani role play. So ang sa role play pod tagaan mo, no, og specific rule, no, from the word itself, role play. So type of an executive development method in which every trainee is given a function to accomplish. So each is provided specific explanation of the task, issues on hand, purpose, duties, responsibilities, feelings, and emotions that they may face. So, for instance, a situation could be a conflict among employees, grievance handling, or issues, and the assigned rule by interacting with one another. So, role play aids in creating stimulation, communication skills, and it's effective on others. So, Bona, no? I think that's how the training and development ended. No, I hope you learn a lot with this topic. Thank you so much and have a great day, everyone.